Broadcasting live from the haunted Fengraph on the plain of Innistrad, I think. It is TapTapConcede Scryfall Roulette Edition.
Is that screaming or like a wraith breathing in the background?
It's like a stadium of wraiths cheering me on.
Nice.
Yeah, you know how they say to always picture like the audience in their underwear?
Yeah.
I picture them all dead and haunting me.
You should get that looked into.
Is that not normal?
At the haunted
Fan
Fangraph
I don't want to define what normal is, but I just feel like something might be like. Have you talked to a medium, a psychic, Nancy Reagan's astrologer?
Welcome everybody to TapTapConcede.
You don't want to hear the Nancy Reagan astrologist fact?
I want to come.
All
I
right.
will come back to this because I'm very interested.
But first, you're hosting your podcast.
Yeah, at the very least, I have to say that my name is Wheeler, and joining me today on TapTapConcede Scryfall Roulette Edition, I have some very special guests. I have Meghan from Good Luck High Five.
What's up? I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need me to say anything else but myself?
No, we could say that at the end.
Okay, great.
I mean, if you want to tell the folks at home how I pitched the show to you to get you in here.
Oh, yeah. Wheeler was like, I'm going to show you some cards. End of sentence.
Great. And we got Aaron from the Spike Feeders.
Glad to be here. Happy to have me.
You're doing great, babe.
Thank you.
You're doing
I've been
so
practicing.
well.
It
First
may
try.
seem like Aaron is traumatized, but actually what just happened was Aaron just got done traumatizing me for like 20 minutes.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no
you were-
context needed, actually.
You were playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
We don't do that on this show.
No, that's fair.
No.
Thank goodness, honestly, can't be in the same room playing Magic with Aaron for a little while. I need a...
Speaking of people who don't play Magic the Gathering, we have James on tech.
Hey, that's me.
Did you say mean or me?
Mimi. Mimi James.
Mimi,
Both.
Mimi James?
Mimi James.
Well, glad to have you. Good to see you. And we've got a couple of other people, or rather groups of people, to thank for everything we do here, such as cardkingdom.com, cardkingdom.com/LRR, sponsor of TapTapConcede, and everything we do, asterisk. The asterisk may be referring to some of the things that I do on here. If you go to cardkingdom.com/LRR and make your order, while supplies last, if you go button please in the comment section, YouTube pilled much, Ben? Just kidding. You will get a small button while supplies last that says something funny. I believe my most recent pitch was the early bird gets the bolt.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
That's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Nice work.
I still like lands in the front, party in the back. That's one of my personal favorites.
one is very good.
But I don't know if they'll make those anymore. You know what? Our made now,
What?
Dragon Shields. I hope they are, because they're my sleeve of choice. Dragon Shield, sponsor of the podcast here. If you go to dragonshield.com and make yourself an order, and you can use the code LRRMTG5 to get 5% off your order. And it also lets them know that, we sent you there to buy your sleeves. And you should buy your sleeves there, because I use Dragon Shields. I always have, and I always will. And frankly, I'm probably a cooler Magic player than you, and you should aspire to be as cool as me.
Yeah,
Not you two.
Well, I was going to say, I personally do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
No problem.
Aaron?
You got the wrong Spike. You're looking for Elliot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I could tell Elliot to... No, I'm not going to do this. This is a sponsor read. Dragon Shield, LRRMTG5, and last...
I'll take this moment to say, Elliot, you can bite me.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. You'll get a kick.
Keep going.
You'd get a kick out of that, though. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Of course, everything we do here is brought to you by you and your support over there. This includes this podcast and things that you may enjoy more. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Got a little roll on the top there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So this is Scryfall Roulette. What we do is I say James's name,
Yeah.
which in this case is James.
Great.
And once I say this, a card appears on the screen.
Love it.
And I'm going to read the card.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then we repeat this over and over again.
Sick. Into it.
It is the
Let's go.
easiest thing to do as a content creator. Like, aside from getting handed free product.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's arguably harder because you have to carry it.
and it can get really heavy. I wish they'd go away from these metal booster packs that they've introduced.
I have too much product to carry. What was me?
Yeah, I like to really perpetuate the idea that content creators are all incredibly wealthy and bougie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fun fact, I'm an aspiring minimalist, so I actually don't allow magic product in my home.
Really?
Yes.
Actually? That's so dope.
Our editor's kind of like that. He's kind of a psychopath, though.
It's very calming for my brain.
I'm into that because I'm not a minimalist, but I like a clean home.
Yeah.
And I like everything, not to steal from Tom York, but he's a bit of a piece of you-know-what. But everything in its right place.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, I like the space and the freedom of not having a lot of stuff.
Do you have I feel like for my brain, I have a brain that if I look at a cleared space, like a clean surface, it helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like walking into my office and seeing just like an open, clean space and going like, whoa!
Exactly.
I have the same aspirations, but don't do any of those things.
I also catcall my desk.
Cat. Is that your favorite desk?
The desk that I'm catcalling.
Yeah, is the desk that you're catcalling? And this is definitely not a thing that we talked about before stream.
Really selling us on this desk.
It's a great desk. Okay, the fun fact about this desk, you all are now hearing about a desk that you have no context for, is that, like I mentioned beforehand, I got it from my friend who was getting rid of it, but also, obviously, she was just only shitting on it. Mm-hmm. She was just like... I was just like, yeah. She was like, do you want this desk? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, the legs are really short. And I was like, I don't care. She's like, it's kind of janky. And I was like, I don't care. And she's like, it wobbles a lot. And I was like, I want the desk.
Yeah. Why are you...
Do you want to keep it? I don't have to take it. And she's like, no, we're getting rid of it. And I was like, I want it. And she's like, it sucks.
Why is she negging the desk?
She negged it so hard. It was kind of amazing.
She's not trying to sell it to you. She's like, you can have it for free, but here's the reasons why you shouldn't.
Here's the reason why you shouldn't.
Please don't take my garbage for these reasons.
Anyways, I love it. It's a great desk. It's living with me.
Aaron, your favorite desk?
Yeah.
It might be this desk.
Really?
I'm a lot of desk envy, actually.
It's a pretty good desk.
Imagine just like having this in an office and someone walks in.
This would be wild.
Right?
Actually, you know what? I would want this in like a foyer. So if somebody is dropping off a package and I have to sign for it, I hear the knock. I'm like, you can open it. And they open the door and I'm just sitting there like this. Yeah. This is...
Imagine.
Yeah, perfect for our audio-only listeners. This is actually the best show for that.
Yeah.
Starting with, in fact, hey, James, we have Mathis Fiendseeker. Red, white, and a black for a 3/3 from Commander 2017, a legendary creature vampire with Menace. And at the beginning of your end step, put a bounty counter on target creature an opponent controls. For as long as that creature has a bounty counter on it, it has, when this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. All will know of your crimes.
Oh.
Flavor text is very important.
This is the show to read flavor text.
All right. Makes sense.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to say it. I think Menace is annoying.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's the point of Menace.
What?
I think that might be the point
annoying.
of Menace.
Yeah,
The creature is menacing.
Yeah, it is menacing. But menacing is not the same as annoying. If I call, like you're a kid and you call another kid annoying, you're not calling that kid menacing.
Is Dennis the Menace annoying?
Wow.
Okay. Yes, but because of his terrorization.
You're using the different other meaning of menace, which is wild.
This is really not a combative podcast. This is like the podcast where every time the comment section is like, they must have smoked 80 bulls before doing this. No,
Was
it's
that
just
an option?
I haven't found a Menace.
It's a bunch of burritos and tequila. You like Menace, you don't like Menace.
Do you know what? Like, I'm just saying, whatever.
Well, we of course always in situations like this, we gotta go to our decider. Mm-hmm. James, how do you feel about Menace?
Love it.
Whoa, James.
It's a point for the love it.
Love to see it.
All right.
There's got to be something about the critic.
If you dislike Menace, hit me up down in the comments. And by hit me up, I mean please write down.
Yeah, I'll get down there.
Type out the phrase.
This is all falling apart.
My favorite.
Type out the phrase, Meghan, I too dislike Menace. Period.
I love it.
Send comment.
Love it when our guests don't know they're about to dig, but they bring their own shovels. You know, that's really beautiful.
I tried playing this card in multiplayer queue, but it was very average. That's my only feedback I have for this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but also it's so, I don't know, maybe a lot has happened in the the 8 or 9 years since this card has come out.
Oh yeah,
I like it in theory, but it does seem mildly
hard to
underpowered.
cast.
Yeah.
I do like the ability. I do like Menace, but
Okay,
come back to that.
I got to split
All right,
you two
rolling
apart.
on.
New card. James! Ooh, Leaf Gilder. 1 in a green for a 2/1 elf druid from Lorwyn that has tap, add a green to your mana pool. And now I've kind of priced myself into reading all the flavor text.
Yeah, you did.
Adrin, perfect of Lisa Lana,
did this yourself.
ordered hundreds of trees uprooted and rearranged into a pattern he deemed beautiful. Thus, the Gilt Leaf Wood was born.
That's a messed up origin story for that woods.
Yeah, the Lorwyn elves kind of suck.
Yeah, that was their deal.
I think kind of racist.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
Kinda.
I don't know the story. I just know is maybe racist. That's it. That's all. I know about
They're
the
like
storyline.
turbo.
Oh, super
turbo
racist.
racist.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's a first.
Why do I know this card?
It adds mana and it's an elf. It's one of those things where you imagine there's like a million of them.
Yeah.
But like they didn't start doing that until somewhat recently.
Yeah.
Right. And by that I mean within the past 15 years. But like, you know, if you played Magic, actually I usually ask this for everybody, like for context too. When did we all start playing Magic the Gathering?
Early 2000, late 99.
Return to Ravnica.
Okay. So like perfect kind of time frame.
Yeah.
Cause like that's right around when they started making additional like mana
Product.
dorks
Yeah.
and
Oh,
just every,
yeah.
and product. Like there was just so much more stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And so like 2 mana dorks at common were not common.
Yeah.
Like there's Wirewood Elf, which was a 2 mana 1/2.
Yeah, that's when I was a 2/1. It was way better.
Yeah.
And limited at least.
Yeah, and like there's a bunch of, I mean, there were some weirdo ones that are like choose a color, and then it can only add the
Quirion
color.
Ranger?
I think you'll find that's
Druid? Is it the Invasion common? I don't remember.
Quirion Elves.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Quirion something.
He went too deep.
Those Quirion. I know the Quirions.
Oh yeah, of the Llanowar Quirions.
Yeah,
I know of House
exactly.
Quirion.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that all elves are at least a little bit Quirion, if you know what I'm saying.
If you know what I'm saying.
My day job is I like manage an LGS, and the only time I've ever sold this thing is to people who want to tap 7 druids and take all my lands.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
What about Quentin Hoover enthusiast? Because I believe this was one of the last pieces that Quentin Hoover painted for the game.
I know. I have no idea when he passed away, but I know he did. That's my only context.
That's a little
Can you make
insensitive.
a Card Kingdom button
It
that
is.
says Quentin Hoover enthusiast?
That's actually, James, can we write that down? Quentin Hoover enthusiast is like pretty good. Ask me about my Quentin Hoover collection.
Yeah.
Madison was trying to collect a bunch of those for a while.
Perfect. See, we have an example of this working.
There you go.
James, tariff. Oof.
All right, I'll just go.
Okay. 1 and a white for a sorcery from Weatherlight. Each player chooses a creature with the highest total casting cost they control, then pays an amount of mana equal to that creature's total casting cost, or buries the creature. And I believe this is the exact Oracle text.
Love this.
Yeah, this card saw some genuine sideboard play as a way to get around cards that could not be targeted. Like you
Would
can't
you say
sort
that it was riding that pony? That was a genuine joke.
Okay,
This has gone over my head.
This is on me because I didn't tell you, but that is one of my karaoke songs.
Yeah, that's a great
And so
karaoke
now-
song.
I'm just sitting here flossing. Yeah.
All right, so this card is great. This card slaps.
Do you not know Genuine?
Not off the top of
If
my head.
you're horny, Let's do it.
I do know that song.
Ride it.
I could never have told you the name of the song.
Really? You didn't go through the credits of Magic Mike?
I did
Double
not.
XL?
I didn't make it through. It was too exhilarating.
The first one was good. The second one, not as good.
I had a hard time getting through the first.
This art is also great.
Yeah, it's what do we got here? Some coins.
Yeah, it's just it feels so it's like it is concrete, but it's lightly conceptual in its rendering, I think.
It's a weird Kev Walker.
I love Kev Walker art.
Oh,
Huge
yeah?
fan. Big fan.
So if there was a button that said Kev Walker enthusiast, that's on you. All right. But I don't have much to say other than this. There was like the tariff trivia, and I'm like, okay, great. James? Oh, Phantasmal Bear. 1 blue for a 2/2 bear illusion with when Phantasmal Bear becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. I'll read the flavor text because this actually pops up in an interesting way in Modern Magic. You know it to be false, but when its claws find you, what you know won't matter much at all. Attributed to Poljamar Illusionist, a character that received a card in Foundation's Jumpstart.
Wow.
Yeah, now he's an anime guy.
Delightful.
What card is that?
Poljamar Illusionist.
What does Paul Jamar Illusionist do?
It's like a 6-mana 3/7. That's a different show, by the way. It's called Stump the Expert. James, can you do me a favor and look up?
There he
what's a
is.
4/5?
Oh, I own one of these. That's the funniest part.
Story of my life, dude. 6-mana 4/5 legendary human illusionist wizard with flying, and when Poljamar Illusionist enters, choose a creature type, draw a card for each creature you control of the type.
Oh, I choose bear
Yeah, I would pick bear.
or illusion.
Did you play a lot when Phantasmal Bear was in Standard?
Oh yeah.
People, do you remember when people were trying to like play that and like Lord of the Unreal?
Yeah.
And the bad other illusions when you could just be playing? I think at the time like Delver was
You
either.
could play Delver.
It was like just becoming a deck, but people were like, I don't want to have to skew my deck to make Delver good. Just kidding. Turns out just playing Delver's good.
Yeah, I mean there was a version of Delver with the bears and the
Like this like
lore.
really aggressive blue deck. with,
Yeah,
like, Phantasmal
and
image and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was kind of dope, but yeah, it's just better to play Delver of Secrets.
I love the Phantasmal image Thrun meta. Mm-hmm. When the legend rule was terrible.
You just play the legend to kill their legend.
There can't be counter protection from blue or whatever it is.
Yeah, this card has a lot of fans though. Like it's I mean it's a bear.
That's a spooky looking bear. Like
Yeah.
that bear is not messing around.
I played it in limited.
I think it is supposed to be rune claw. Okay, pay attention to the claws.
Okay, I'm
James.
looking.
Okay. Let's lock in everybody.
All right.
James, can you show me Rune Claw Bear? I think this is supposed to be an illusion of Rune
Show
Claw
me
Bear.
Rune Claw Bear.
Ding!
Oh yeah.
It has the same arm markings and everything.
Yeah, and I think Rune Claw Bear is in this set, like in M12 or whatever. Yeah, same bear,
I believe it.
same bear, different time,
Different illusions, you know.
different. I got so many illusions.
Don't we all, man? Don't we all?
It's fighting demons.
Fighting demons here in Studio B. Just realizing we probably don't have the air conditioning on. Anyways, James, next card. Ooh, Angel of Suffering. 3 black for a 5/3 Nightmare Angel with flying. And if damage would be dealt to you, prevent that damage and mill twice that many cards. If you wish for blessings, mortal, ask your demon masters. We've given enough to your kind. Is this... Okay, so New Capenna,
Yeah.
James is stealthily... I can see it in his face.
Yeah.
He's just like, why would you ever say this? Why you don't have to talk about it.
No one could see me.
I love showing how the sausage gets made. New Capenna. Bit of a...
The set didn't hit the way it ought to hit.
So you're on the... Are you on the camp of it didn't hit?
I would say that for me, the set didn't hit. Like, artistically, yes.
Yeah.
The draft environment I did not like. And I'm a big drafter, for
Okay.
people who don't know. Draft is probably my primary way that I play Magic.
Okay.
And the draft environment in this set was like a little disappointing.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of Bant.
Yeah, and like you just couldn't. It was supposed to be a 3-color set, but 2-color decks were just better.
Oh God.
You know, like that's disappointing.
It had that that insane 3-drop, right? The green common 3-mana 3/3 trample makes a treasure.
Jewel Thief.
Yeah. that
Oh,
thing.
yep, absolutely. That was an uncommon. Wait, was it? It might have been a common.
It's common,
You're
it's in
right.
pauper, yeah.
Woof.
Oh my.
Quite the
Yeah,
common.
Jewel Thief.
Aaron, how do you feel about Streets New Capenna? Because I think I'm on your team.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's poop soup.
I think a lot of I ended up liking a lot of the cards, but I think flavor wise it was a big miss. Like trying to be this like mob boss family or mob set family felt like quite the miss. Like the guild leaders didn't seem that important. The storyline was a mess. The Giada character / sword, Elspeth.
You mean Luxior Giada's gift?
That's
Wow.
the one. Urbrask is around because
that
that's
guy.
at the time they're putting a Praetor in every set because of War of the Spark 2. Yeah, so I did end up liking a lot of the cards and the triumphs. Well, they were triumphs. But you think that was like hey, this set's like kind of mid. Maybe we just shove these in here because they're going to be obviously good.
I don't know, because it was a tricolor set.
Right, it does fit flavorfully.
yeah.
Like, just funny.
I think. What if it happened the other way? Like, what if they knew they were going to be a 3-colored set around
Yeah.
these shards, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, people are going to complain that we don't have, the full cycle.
Yeah, like we got to put the triumph in
Right.
there.
And then
Yeah,
they're
of
like,
course.
well, we're doing that. Is there a way that we can find to get the rest of the triumphs in here? And they're like, well, we have this set with like a rare land cycle or whatever that we need to fill out, or we want to make outside of like Glacial Fortress and Friends or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, we got multicolor, like we have companions and hybrid mana, so triumphs can do a little lifting there. We got these like 3-color legends that are kind of cool because you can have some 3-color legends without being in a 3-color set necessarily. Because Ikoria is not really a 3-color set.
Ikoria is not a 3-color set.
Yeah. So
Like you said, it had like some 3-color cards, but
Right.
it was not largely like it felt like it was not intended to be a 3-color set.
right. I think this conversation perfectly encapsulates how we feel about New Capenna. That we started talking about it, and then we haven't talked about the card in question at all.
No.
And we in fact just switched to talking about something else.
Exactly.
Like, it's just
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I did find some stuff about its lore interesting.
Yeah.
Sure.
I liked the part where it's like, oh, the new city was actually built on top of the old plane that no one really knew about. Period.
It feels hard. It feels hard to compete with like how much the original Shards of Alara, like Grixis and stuff, all like they're so popular, right? It feels really hard to make a follow up to that.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be anywhere close to as held as fondly as the original ones did. But the thing I remember most about this set was in pre-order season when like Lord Xander was spoiled.
Right.
Commander players lost their mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this a lot, but Commander players, like the sky is falling a lot of things.
Yes.
Lord Xander was one of them, and it was like pre-ordering for like $60, which is absurd.
Right.
So we started listing them. People were buying them. We didn't know what was going on. Like, look up the price of Lord Xander now. It is not $60. I'll tell you that for free.
James, can you look up the price of Lord Xander with an X?
Yeah, it's like $2.
Okay.
Yeah, do not get wrapped up in the pre-order hype. That's all I got to tell you.
Okay. Wow.
Well, this card, I was always like, why?
It's kind of cool, right?
It is cool. If you want to die by milling instead of by normal death.
My problem with this card is you want to like put it in decks like Nethroyer or self-mill decks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then it's like a people just like don't attack you anymore.
Exactly, people will
which
just
is like
not
maybe
attack
good,
you.
but they'll attack you when they're just going to kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, they just alpha you or something.
It's like there's a card you played against us recently. It's whenever you get attacked, exile top card of that player's library. You play that card.
Nobody attacked me.
Yeah, often
You're
that just
right.
makes it so you never get attacked.
I also had a Solemn Simulacrum in play that I could have blocked with, and no one would let me block with
Oh,
my
I
Solemn.
No one is attacking me.
Exactly. All the lad wants to do.
I instead threw Metalwork Colossus 7 times, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, that was painful.
Well, let's not linger on something so painful. James. Hell yeah. Bear Cub. 1 and a green for a 2/2 creature bear from Portal Second Age. that has a flavor text. Every little cub has its mother's teeth to guard it. An elvish saying. Art by Ron Spencer. This might be the least Ron Spencer-y art of all.
It's so cute.
Unless the mother bear is in a bikini with like a flail. But like at least from here.
She's just off screen enough for you to not know that that's what's
Yes,
happening.
yeah.
She is, but you can't really tell him this.
Yeah, they
art.
like kind of pinched in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely, he sent in the piece with that on it, and they were like, can we just crop it a little?
Buddy, this is Portal. We gotta dumb it down a bit. We gotta make it a little bit more, PG.
Okay, so was this a set that they made sorcery instance?
Yes.
Like false summoning?
Yes. Yeah. This is Portal.
We're gonna dumb it down, but make it extremely complicated at the same time.
Yeah.
False summoning is a sorcery you can play in response to your opponent playing a creature.
Now, Aaron and I have been talking about Portal and Portal adjacent sets a lot the past couple of days, which is
Nice for y'all.
very fortunate. But I gotta ask,
Yes.
how up to date on Portal are you?
Gotta say, not at all.
Not at all.
I know it's a magic set.
Well,
Wow, we've reached the end.
okay.
There's 3 of them even.
They made 3 of them.
That's true. That's okay.
One of them has people that actually existed. Truly, the universe is beyond versus UB. That they've retconned 5 times whether or not it's actually UB.
Wow. Is this what Scheherazade is from?
No.
Okay.
Shahrazad is from Arabian Nights, which is also kind of.
Has real life
Obvious.
people are supposed to have real people.
No.
Yeah, but from Portal,
Who
they
are
did.
the real life people in Portal?
Well, they did Portal 3 Kingdoms, which is
Okay.
about the romance of the 3 kingdoms. And I don't know if you two know this, but my content creation name is the Asian Avenger, and so I'm very in line.
I've heard that once or twice.
Have questions, but keep going.
So basically, it covers a lot of the romance of the 3 kingdoms, which is certainly a fictionalized retelling of certain real world events, and through a lot of the history is told by the winners. Sort of narrative points, but a lot of the people and figures that are in the romance of the 3 kingdoms, and thus Portal 3 Kingdoms, they actually lived, and it references real world cities. Some, a lot of them have changed over the years, but some of them are still under that name, which is wild. And the wizard's take is this isn't actually in Magic the Gathering. You don't have to think about it. Then they said, never mind, it's in Magic the Gathering, and they just happen to have the same name.
It's that place. It's that city, but it's not that city.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Different.
Bit of a mess.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's
Also had its own mechanic horsemanship for a long time. For some reason, it was the only set that feature horsemanship up until
can't have flying.
recently.
Do you wish that more sets had horsemanship, Aaron?
I know.
All right, just checking.
I do like Rolling Earthquake though. Big fan.
okay. I got a two-part question here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First part: how do we feel about bears and Magic?
Positively.
Positive.
I sold this card when a Eula got spoiled. That's the last time I remember this card.
Okay. So is that positive?
Mostly positive.
Okay, great. James?
I'm a fan of bears.
Okay, great. See,
How do you feel?
I make that a clean 4-0. I love me a bear at Magic the Gathering. Now, how do we feel about horses in Magic the Gathering?
With or without horsemanship. I guess the horse wouldn't have horsemanship.
The horses don't have horsemanship.
Right, my mistake.
Which is a shame. You think a horse can ship a horse harder than anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm a horse and I'm like, God, if I had to pick who would be riding on my back, I'm going to pick another horse, right?
I don't know.
I mean, well, it depends what you're into. Personally, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm a horse. And I understand. I want somebody to be on my back that knows what it's like to be on both sides, of the train tracks, basically.
Yes.
I did find a YouTube channel that is dedicated to just MTG horses.
Really?
This exists.
Well,
Should I shout it out?
We actively bleep out any mention of other.
Then I will not do that. But this
This
exists.
includes when you two get to the plugs.
when we talk about our thing?
Yes,
I'm Meghan.
This does exist. A friend of mine who really likes gremlins,
yeah.
his favorite creature type in Magic, told me that it might be more niche than the person whose love is horses in Magic.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you could plug a horse channel.
The thing is,
I think it's called Power of the Herd.
that's incredible. I'm gonna go look it up.
Half of the content is about the mythic from Amonkhet, because that was the best horse and maybe
Right.
the only horse for a long
Yes, the
time.
Crested Sunmare,
Yeah.
of course.
That's the one.
Great
The horse,
card.
of course. Yeah, this podcast became exclusively for Rachel Weeks in this. Like,
Okay, I have a
Yeah.
sorry, I have a
I'm
follow-up
very
after
positive
you.
about horses and magic because
Great.
I grew up. I'm a horse girl. Like I loved horses.
yeah,
I drew them in all of my notebooks.
okay. You're like a bona fide horse girl.
Yeah, I like rode horses for a long time
Oh,
growing up.
okay.
I read books about horses constantly.
Okay.
I sketched them all over the margins of my pages in middle school. I was a big time horse nerd. Loved them.
I'm not a horse girl,
Really?
believe it or not.
I'm a big horse enjoyer, and not just for like the cowboy stuff. It's just I like the horse. I think horses are dope. They're so funny. They're like incredibly intelligent, powerful. But if they they think of something sad, they can just die on the spot. They're somehow so smart and the stupidest animal that you'll run into. It's kind of incredible.
They're poetry in motion.
Not to mention, if I may toot my horn from 8 years ago or whatever, before the current
Yeah.
route to the Pro Tour system existed.
I don't think a horn goes bad.
It depends where you put it on the horse.
Hey, keep going. What are we talking about?
Before the current
Yeah.
RC qualifying system, back when they had regional PTQs,
Yeah.
I qualified for a couple of those off the back of horses.
Love that.
Like the Crested Sunmare
Yeah.
and the mono blue tempo deck that was in standard for a
Yeah.
while.
I had the double
that
blue
Surge Mare. My
was gonna
sideboard
say
had
water horse.
8 horses. I had 4 Surge Mare, or like 8 or 6 horses of like 4 Surge Mares and Diamond Mares, which is the
wow,
life
yeah,
game.
gains you
Diamond
life.
Man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Love me a horse. Hey, James, how do you feel about horses?
I could go either way on horses.
Sorry, dude, we're
But-
actually talking about bears.
But unicorns.
Unicorns?
Unicorns I'm all in.
All right.
The Transformer that's a planet?
Yeah, that's the one.
I think that you got to, if you're pro unicorn, you got to be pro horse because you can't get there without them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
I love that line of thought. It's so good. Yeah.
I have one follow-up with Bear Cup. Not necessarily Bear Cup before we get off of it. But how do you feel about the Sword Shield power toughness that they did for 2 sets?
Into it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
I
it
think-
so much.
I think it's
So
great.
they gave up really fast.
Yeah, they really did. But I'm a fan of this.
'Cause these were featured as like a learn-to-play product
Yes.
at first, right? That's
Yeah.
why it had sorceries instead of instants, which was even more confusing.
So the portal sets, to talk about Bear Cub and the surrounding features of Bear
Why it
Cub.
has no text.
Which is what we've been talking about for the last 5 minutes, to be
Yes.
clear.
At least
Yeah.
5 minutes.
This is the most stay on point podcast. There were no instants, there were no enchantments, and there were no artifacts. Just creature, sorcery, and basic lands. The cards that were the creatures all had a sword and a shield next to their power and toughness. They have, as you can see, there's kind of a divider between where
Yes.
rules text and flavor text would be.
Yeah.
As well, but it's not in the Bear Cub. It looks a little jarring because there's no rules text, but like it is a clear division between one point in the card and the other.
Yeah.
It's less clear on other cards. But what really gets me about this is that they made decisions about the language that they use for cards to try and make it more clear. And they did that by making it less clear. So,
Classic.
James, can you pull up Jungle Lion for me? One of my favorite Portal era
Cannot
cards.
intercept. Is that
Yes.
the right one?
Yeah, this lion is not blocking, or in this case, not intercepting. Jungle Lion is a 1-mana 2/1
What?
creature that says Jungle Lion can't intercept.
This was very cubable for a long time.
Yeah. Well, it was like one of the only 2-power green cards.
Wild Dogs?
Wild Dog's pretty good. Gazman Ogre. I've cast this card off Mox Emerald more times than I am like really,
That I'd like to admit, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't intercept.
Are you familiar with
intercepting.
intercepting?
Yeah.
I can't say that I am.
It's a shame. You should
Didn't play college ball?
You learn to play Magic in Portal 1.
Oh no, I was a big college football player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, look. The horse girl is a full-time job, so
Yeah,
I'm mostly
absolutely.
just shocked about the time commitment.
It's a lot of hobbies.
Yeah. Well,
That would be such a good like Disney movie of
it
like
probably exists.
horse girl that is like on the football team. And
Yep.
she's like the star player, but she just wants to live her horse girl dreams.
Yeah. Who
also sews and makes clothing.
And the
Also
sews
sews
and
and makes
makes their own
Okay,
clothing.
I have an important question for both of you,
Is it
which
about-
I hope that you can answer.
For sure.
Which is, what's your favorite Disney Channel original movie?
Okay, so this is tough because we're Canadian and we didn't get that.
That's
but
right.
if I had to pick, I would say Boom, boom, boom. You make my heart go vroom, vroom. My supernova girl. I forget which one it is.
That's Xenon.
Xenon.
Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is. Do you know what? That is a great
That's a
choice.
good
That's
choice?
a classic choice. There are many people who are on your side.
All right. Now,
Xenon is a
Aaron,
great one.
I pointed out to the outfield and out of the park.
You really did home run with Xenon, and also singing the song by musician Protozoa.
Oh my God.
We have another card.
We can go to the next card.
James.
All right, mostly I just need to know I need to know have you watched what I would call a masterpiece of modern cinema, Motocrossed.
No, but
All
I
right,
like the
don't
sound.
worry
You'll
about
have
it.
to tell me.
Yeah.
Crossed?
Motocrossed, which is about the sport of motocross.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Is
don't
it a
worry about
romance story?
It
or
is-
is it a religious film?
I thought religious. That's the first thing I thought.
Religious film. It's deeply religious.
Yeah.
It's Twelfth Night, but also Shakespeare's Twelfth Night.
Yes.
It is incredible.
All right, we're gonna do now. We're gonna, if you're listening at
We're gonna
home,
pause
pause
it.
the podcast.
Go watch Motocross.
Yes.
I have to go
back
watch
here.
Motocross. I don't know what we're talking about.
James, can we see the next card? Okay. Torture Chamber.
Wow.
A 3-mana artifact from Tempest. During your upkeep, put a pain counter on Torture Chamber. At the end of your turn, Torture Chamber deals 1 damage to you for each pain counter on it. Pay 1 generic and tap. Remove all pain counters from Torture Chamber. Torture Chamber deals 1 damage for each pain counter on it to target creature.
No.
This card sucks.
This is a terrible card. This is bad in a lot of ways.
That's most of this era of Magic. For every banger, you have 5 cards that are like, hey, what if we made you jump through a ring of fire, do a handstand, all for, a damage to a creature.
Nothing.
It's just...
Yeah, this is rough.
Do you care to guess the rarity?
I believe this one is actually an uncommon.
That's the favorite part. 'Cause I don't know nothing about this card other than the Bizarro Karn artwork.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing is this card is terrible. Like, we all agree this card is
It's terrible.
Yeah, quite bad.
abysmal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be a common.
Yeah.
It's from Tempest.
Yeah.
You know, I also look when there's so many kinds of counters. Calm down, pain counters.
Pain-
You think it's still
Counter?
errata to pain counter?
Pain counters?
Buddy, it's not that serious. Like,
I'm going to also guess it's an uncommon, and I'm not happy about it.
James, can you tell us the rarity of Torture Chamber?
Sure, it's a rare.
What?
Yeah. Do you know what? That seems right.
Oh, hold on. Let me make everybody a little more upset. Is it on the reserve list?
No, I would say so.
Oh, thank God they can
Don't
reprint
worry,
it.
Wheeler. They can make as many of this bad boy as they want.
No, this is the first and only printing of this card.
That's shocking, dude. Well, it's only shocking if you take 3 damage
And 2 turns.
and 2 turns and 4 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only to a creature. Wow. This stinks.
In the same set, you can open Uncommon Wasteland.
Yeah. Yeah. Lotus Petal was a common. Like, I love old Magic.
Yeah.
They really did not know
I think
what they
I'm
were
picking
doing.
this. I think if I open that pack, I'm probably picking this.
The best part too is that like Aaron says, like you don't know if this is a rare or not. There's
Yeah.
no rarity symbol, but also the pack like collation was different, or like the order in the packs. And this was at a time where I think they changed it a couple of times.
Because it used to be like
yeah.
uncommons, rare commons at some point.
Right, but that wasn't true. Like they did that for Mirage block, and I think maybe only Tempest from this block. I can't remember. Like it's
It was a mess.
So really, who's saying that this is a rare?
Yeah.
It's the idea of being a rare.
Yeah. I'm not going to do what they tell me.
No.
You need a magazine
yeah.
to tell you the rarity of your cards. Back in the
Yeah,
time.
I got to buy a magazine.
A Scry magazine.
Or, I mean, in the lineup of the Blockbuster, the guy behind the counter is not going to see if you just, slip it under your hoodie. I definitely didn't do that a bunch at the Blockbuster
this
on
is why Blockbuster
Oak
went
Bay
out
and
of
Fowl
business.
Road.
Do you think
We
Thomas
could still
Gianni
be
got a lot of
going
artwork
down
after
to
this?
our local video store and renting DVDs.
Oh, I wouldn't take it only
VHSs.
from Blockbuster. I wouldn't take it from a local place.
My dad had to ban me from renting Homeward Bound at the Blockbuster. He was like, "You can't rent this movie."
How many
anymore."
times did you rent Homeward Bound, do you think?
Oh gosh, I
Is it
truly,
in triple digits?
No, it's not in the triple digits. I mean, probably only 15 to 16 times is my guess. Luckily, there's a Homeward
I
Bound
would've guessed more for some reason.
Loophole.
Right, there is Homeward Bound too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it just called Homeward Bound 2, or is it like the All Things Modern nowadays?
It's
It's like
Homeward
something
Bound
crazy.
as well.
No, Lost in San Francisco.
I think I
I
knew
would
that.
like to clear that space
Wait.
in my brain for something else.
I got to get this out while we're talking about Disney old, because you evidently know older Disney,
Yeah.
original Disney movies. Is it the Applejack Gang? Is that a?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, because
sorry.
I do know that the Applejack Gang rides again. That's for
know
exactly
that.
one
Sorry.
person in the audience. But James, can we get a Magic the Gathering card on the screen? Oh,
Whoa.
Thoughtseize. 1 black for a sorcery, a rare from Lorwyn. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and that player discards the card. You lose 2 life.
Yeah.
Any dream is a robust harvest. Still, I prefer the time-worn dreams. Time-worn dreams? Well, I biffed it. All right. How do we feel about the
Done
card?
here.
Yeah, we're done.
Do you remember? I don't know how to pronounce this artist's last name. I always try to biff it, but
Bricklot?
yeah, Alexei Bricklot used to, in this timeline was like super popular artist. They had just drawn the Lorwyn Planeswalker. A lot of the Lorwyn Planeswalkers. This thing for a little while after they were an artist who was really popular at the time. But it's like I only ever want to draw rare mythics.
Wow.
This card is obviously very good, which is
Yeah.
not a lot to talk about. But the artist who's no longer they actually didn't stay much longer than that, I believe,
Wow.
was really big at the time.
You know what? Is this card even good anymore?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
Most
messing
things have
around.
aged. All the cards I saw play
I'm
around this
messing
card,
around.
not good anymore.
Yeah.
This one's still good.
This one is still good. Although I will say I don't like it doesn't have the I most strongly think of Thoughtseize obviously like from my time playing Modern, but not during current era of Modern at all. Like I'm talking, like the time of Affinity, obviously. I was a big I freaking love Scape Shift.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. And I remember Thoughtseize from like that era when it was just like all those Jund decks. It was like the linchpin of those decks. And I do feel like it's not like it doesn't have that centerpiece place.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
way
it,
it once
it
did.
it still shows up, but it's not the like I'm always
Yes.
expecting to see my opponent go to 15 and
Yes,
I'm down
and
a card.
I'm down a
right?
card, yeah.
Yeah. You want to hear my Magic the Gathering hot take? My number 1 Magic the Gathering hot
Number
take?
one.
Yeah.
I think this might be it. I think this is the most egregious Magic card post like Alpha.
Wow.
Or like maybe post like Urza's Legacy kind of.
You know what?
Like-
Sure.
Like, I mean, maybe Psychic Frog is a contender, but I think that this card, or maybe not egregious, most damaging. I think this card has been the most damaging to like making Magic fun or like enjoyable or like it's such a. It's a very
Yeah.
powerful card. It does often like do more damage to the decks that are up to no good, but like. It feels like it is the kind of card that stomps on innovation.
I would say emotionally, it's kind of like getting like a fork stabbed into your arm,
Yeah.
where it's like it's not going to kill you, but you're going to freaking remember it.
Yeah. It's too good. It's 2 life. I don't
Yeah.
what 1 mana? Any card?
1 mana, any card.
I think this card probably exists in a similar space that, like, once it's kind of out there, you can't take it back. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Lightning Bolt as a card is like
Yeah.
fine-ish, but then if there's, you have to be wary that you can't have too many of them because then it becomes a problem in Modern or Legacy or something. And because you can't scale it back, it's kind of like pump spells have to be forever kind of nerfed.
It's all about giant
because infect exists as a mechanic.
Sorry. Yeah.
You can't like erase infect as a mechanic. So like pump spells can only be X good, if that makes sense. And like Thoughtseize is existing
back in the box, like it's out there.
You can't put it back in the box, right?
Like,
you
beyond
made it-
banning it, which would seem ridiculous, but
unless it's Pioneer.
it's like fetch lands. Like fetch lands
they're
are
never gonna ban
hugely
Thoughtseize.
problematic.
Yeah, you can't ban Thoughtseize. That's like Thoughtseizing Thoughtseize.
That happens a lot.
It feels, and the worst part is, as somebody that feels like I know how to use the magic cards in front of me most of the time.
Yeah.
I feel like I am often using my Thoughtseize more optimally than my opponents. And when I am Thoughtseized, I often breathe a sigh of relief when they take what I think is the wrong card. And so this should be up my alley for like, I get to leverage my abilities, and when my opponents use it improperly, they give me opportunities to crawl out of it despite being, down a card or whatever. But that does nothing for me in that instance. Like, I think there are just better ways within the game to achieve that feeling or to get that payoff for, like, getting better at the game or getting a better understanding of what your deck does or what your opponent's deck does than like this. Like, it's just, I'm a bit of a Thoughtseize hater.
Yeah.
I've become a bit of a Thoughtseize hater.
You don't need to justify that take.
Now,
this card can go to heck.
Great artwork.
You said like fuck at the beginning of the podcast.
Did I?
4627, by the way.
Don't remember that.
You said, don't worry, but
I do believe. Okay, I do think I did say that, and I do remember that, and I think I shocked myself by doing
I
it.
thought,
So,
oh damn, okay.
yeah. Wow, what did I say it about?
You got hyped.
I did.
And you know what it was?
Disney?
I don't think it was. I don't think it was anything. Like, I think it may have been about the.
I was gonna say, was it a positive though? I feel like I might have said it in a positive.
I think it was
way.
about the desk.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
You got really excited about that.
Because my friend said that the desk was
Right,
fucked up.
yeah.
No, that's right. That's right.
4705. James, can we get the next card, please? Yeah. Wall of Swords. 3 and a white for a 3/5 summon wall with flying. Of course, this is from an era in which walls can't attack as per the Magic rules. So there's no defender on this card, but this card does have defender. Just as the evil ones approached to slay Justina, she cast a great spell, imbuing her weapons with her own life force. Thus she fulfilled the prophecy. In the death of your savior will you find salvation. Luke 14. That's my final religion joke of the day.
Just so you know, that was rolling in from earlier today. You can listen to Good Luck High Five.
Yup.
You're not going to be able to hear what I just said because you're going to bleep out a reference to another content creator.
No plugs here. Thank you.
No. My partner loves the art of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Like I would say that it is her favorite thing about the game, or one of the favorite things about the game. And she's a painter herself. And we talk a lot about old Magic art because I am something of a boomer.
Yeah.
And so I look at art from Alpha and I go like, damn, this rules.
Yeah.
And then I look at stuff like Wall of Swords and all I can think of is like, damn, Mark Tadine got so much better at painting over the years.
Conceptually, though, like, I love what's going on here. Because it looks like there's a giant goo monster trying to push itself through a chain link fence made of swords.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, conceptually, I'm behind.
This is very... you're the goo monster?
Like, I'm in favor.
Oh, okay.
I'm just, like, in favor of this scenario.
Yes. Yeah. You want to keep the goo out with the swords.
I think I would just like... I appreciate the story of the goo making the attempt.
I appreciate the story it's trying to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you believe the self-restraint from Wizards of the Coast to not have a Modern Horizons card that's called, like, Goo Broard the antithesis of sword or
I think that's Yargle.
Absolutely.
yeah, Yargle.
No, also it has to be Justina's nemesis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The first time I ever met Mark Tadine was in like 2008 to get something signed. Mm-hmm. And I was getting him to sign Nivenral's disc, classic Mark Tadine card.
Yeah.
And when I handed it to him, he laughed. He's like, I assure you, I know how to draw hands now. Because if you look at the art of LVG and Nivenral's disc, I don't know what's going on there, but it's rough.
It is. Yeah, it's you look at alpha art and there's a bunch of artists where you're like, all I can say is thank you for contributing to this game that I love, but also
how do you feel about the folios?
Oh, I love the folios. I love the folios. Because I think they do it right. I think the goofy art, I think especially because I think that art has I think the folios, their artwork gets, like other artists as well, it got by the constraints of a Magic card for a lot of them. Yeah. Like I think when people talk,
you're sure using a lot of words to justify these folios.
I like the folios. What? Sue me.
Ice Age lure. I can't deal with it. Do you know the art for Ice Age lure?
James, can we pull up Ice Age lure?
I'm very curious because now they're given a pretty specific art direction.
Yeah.
You think when they were given the art direction for lure, it's like you're drawing the card is named lure. And the first thing you think of is a fishing lure.
Yes.
Well, so what did the Foglios?
Now, James typed LRR into Scryfall, assuming that's what we meant by lure.
He's like, there's none of these cards.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
I can't. He's I like that your interpretation is on like an abacus.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, yes.
Oh, love whatever's going on here.
This feels... Yeah, I feel this is what I'm talking about. Intentionality, right? It's goofy, but it's intentionally very goofy. Whereas like the Wall of Swords we just looked at.
They were trying to do something serious.
Yeah, and even Justina is like, brother, I'd rather be watching Homeward Bound 2 than dealing with this.
There's two Foglios too.
Lost in San Francisco.
Yeah, there's Phil and Kadra.
Phil and Kaya.
Yeah, Kaya. Makes more sense than Kadra, whatever I just said.
That's okay. Take your time.
So you know what? As I like Workshop. I like Factory. End of the line. Something lure. Not in any.
Love this lure.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
We got time for one more card, James. Oversimplify.
Wow.
3 green and a blue for a sorcery. Exile all creatures. Each player creates a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and puts a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the total power of creatures they control that were exiled this way. This is from the Strixhaven Commander product.
This is dumb.
That has a fine example of addition by subtraction. A quote from Dika, professor of fractal theory.
Does feature in the same set?
Yeah. Dika is one of the professors.
Yeah, makes fractals.
Fractal theory?
Something like that.
Wow, how'd you arrive at that?
Well, I'm very smart.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. This card's really good. It seems pretty good, right?
This card was released in the when like the timeline when Blue Green got everything. Right. There was like year after year after year when it's like Hydroid Krasis, Uro, or Oko, this thing, which is not nearly as good as the other cards.
I was gonna say putting this in that
but
category.
It's like a couple years of like we're just only printing good blue green cards, and they spoiled this, and like now they even have a Wrath effect. They have everything.
I feel whatever about this.
Really?
I play this card often. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a blue-green enjoyer.
Me too.
I love blue-green. Really? And you don't like this card?
They're very satisfying to play. Blue-green cards are great.
I don't know, man.
Who doesn't like blue-green?
Give me a
Yeah.
Give me a Cyclonic Rift.
You one of those?
Are you a
blue-green
Cyc Rift
employers.
enjoyer?
I love a Cyclonic Rift.
I love Cyclonic Rift.
Most of the decks that we play on Commander Arcade, we call like a low 3, which is you can play like 1 to 2 game changers. You know what mine is every time.
I love it. But here's the thing about Cyc Rift, right? It has all the same, like, don't cast it unless you're ending the game.
Yeah.
But
I wish that was the case.
People are not good at that.
Yeah.
And also, people are way too hesitant to just bounce one.
No one's ever paying 2. That card does not cost
I
you
love paying 2 for Cyclone.
No one's paying 2
I
ever.
love it.
Yeah.
It's just like, nah, get that out of there.
Yeah.
It's basically a modal
also,
card,
I'm
right?
just saying, like, look, end of the game. Like, you're right. People
Yeah.
don't do it right. But if I'm casting it, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go ahead
I'm
and just
doing
kill
this,
you
so
all.
I'm killing some
Because
people.
we're gonna
I'm
kill you
pro
all.
Cyclonic Rift to win.
Yes.
Cyclonic Rift to add 30 minutes to the game.
Yeah.
I want any part of that.
Yeah, but then
That is on the person. Don't you
Right.
dare blame Cyclonic Rift for that.
No. Unfortunately, that is a lion's share of Rift enjoyers.
you can't blame Cyclonic Rift for donkeys being donkeys. Right?
Yeah. Yeah?
No offense to the donkeys in
Yeah.
chat. I'm just saying.
Hey,
like,
chat, if you're a donkey, hit me up down in the comments by
So
saying,
I work at a
"Hey, Megan,
store.
comma,
It's been a
I am
while.
a donkey! Exclamation point.
I have a lot of exposure to this card, unfortunately. Well, Cyclonic Rift.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
But
Have you heard of our donkey bits?
No.
Well, that's going to be today's episode of Tap Tap Concede.
Is that a euphemism?
Nope. Tap Tap Concede Scryfall Roulette. I have been Wheeler. We have Megan.
Hey,
From Good Luck High Five.
Beep.
Would you like to plug yourself?
Yes. Hey, everyone. You can listen to me and my wonderful co-host, Maria, talk about magic on our podcast, Good Luck High Five. And you can watch us play some Commander. I will be casting a Cyclonic Rift at youtube.com/@GLHF Commander.
Perfect. Aaron from the Spike Feeders. Aaron.
I have not been Cyclonic Rift by Meghan. Let the record show.
Wow. Yeah. It's only because I haven't drawn it.
So we have a little bit, a few days left. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can only overload the rifts you've drawn.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's a Card Kingdom button. We'll get to that in a second.
Perfect.
I want that button. Okay.
Yes. From a channel called Spike Feeders, we make mostly Commander content and CEDH content. I don't know why I said mostly. That's literally all we do. Sometimes we do product reviews, but it's mostly Commander gameplay, like a lot of channels. But I like to think we do it a little better with less Cyclonic. If you don't like Cyclonic Rift as much, come view.
Hey, Aaron, I was about to say
Aaron's
nice things about your chat. I was going to be like, we've had a really great time.
I've
playing
threatened to
with
burn
you
your
all.
house down how many times this weekend?
Mine?
Yes. And Jan's.
Well, okay, I've heard, honestly, your number, okay, I will say that your amount of arson threats is, like, shockingly high.
Oh my god, this was supposed to be a show about love.
Thanks for having me. Love to be here. It's been great.
I spent the first game where I ever met Aaron, like, I spent an hour genuinely trying to tell if he hated my guts.
That's communication breakdown.
But you know what? I still am having a great time.
That's what's important.
And I always have a great time when I go over to cardkingdom.com/LRR because when I use that link, I make my order. I get my cards, my Oversimplify, my Cyclonic Rift, my Alpha Wall of Swords.
Ice Age Lure.
And a button that says I'm a lure into
Connoisseur.
Am I in the
Lure.
So when you do all of this and you go to checkout and you say, Lure sent me button, please, you will get a button that may say something real, such as the early bird gets the bolt, or potentially one of the great taglines that we've made up so far. Quentin Hoover enjoyer, Ron Spencer enjoyer, Kev Walker enjoyer.
I'm a lure enjoyer.
I'm a lure enjoyer. I will burn your house down.
Yes. And of course, you can only overload the rifts that you draw,
Only overload the rifts you draw.
which I genuinely want.
It's not bad. It's
no
not
part
bad. And you know what is good? Great segue. Dragon Shield.
Great.
Go to Dragon Shield to pick up your Dragon Shields and use code LRRMTG5 to get 5% off your order when you're picking up your Dragon Shields because you need to protect your decks. You need to protect your Alpha Wall of Swords.
Yeah.
And your foil German
Hold on to that
Cyclonic
art.
Rift. Hold on to that. You think the Alpha art for Wall of Swords is going to go up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Good call. This is not a financial advice. This is not financial advice.
They're out of stock, but do you want to take a guess at how much a Wall of Swords would cost?
Alpha Wall of
What's
Swords?
the rarity of Wall of Swords?
Uncommon.
Uncommon.
Yeah. 175 USD.
I don't think it's that much. I'm gonna guess $90 US.
You know what? $92.
Is this price is right?
$79.99.
Wow.
Really? So I went high. Wait, what grade is that?
Excellent.
Oh, that's near mint.
Okay.
All right.
I assume they might be higher because of like arcades.
This is the great artwork.
Oh.
And because of the great artwork. Well, I mean, Mark Dedine's at Magic Cons, right?
He's at every Magic event ever of all time.
I have to be so bad.
All right, Megan's leaving, but that's okay. You should buy Dragon Shields. This is the first time
aggressive.
we've ever had anybody leave the podcast.
I didn't mean I'd burn her house down.
Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun is the place that you can go to give us money, especially if you like totally hinged and on the rail podcast content such as this. Give us money there. It means a lot. Or you can give us money on YouTube and Twitch, and in the comments section down below, tell me, how'd you like this podcast? Say it was great, Ben. Thank you. Okay, I'm going. Goodbye.